Or
Okay, so class, here's a set of numbers. And in this week's lessons, we're going to be finding the range, the median, the first quartile, third quartile, and this stands for interquartile range. So let's start first by putting the numbers in order. When you did your statistics last week, you had to put them in order first. So that's what we'll do. We have a 32 is first, and what I do when I'm putting numbers in order is I cross them off so that I don't miss a number, because I might make a mistake otherwise. So the next number, 47, 49, 53, 54, 66, 67, 71, and 72. This is the first journal problem from this lesson 9-4. So in order to find the range is the difference between the largest number and the smallest number. Well, difference, if you remember from our operation words, mean to subtract. So you're going to take the biggest number, which is 72, and subtract the smallest number, which is 32. And when you subtract those two numbers, you get 40. So 40 is the range of the numbers that we have in our data set. It ranges from 32 to 72, and that range is 40 numbers long. The second thing we're going to practice today is median, and you did that last week. But median means the middle number. And so when I do it, I use my two pointer fingers. This is why it's good to be short in math. And you start at the either end and you jump together. And you can see that both of my fingers landed on 54. So 54 is my middle number. Now what would happen if I had two middle numbers? Well, then I would find the mean or the average of those two numbers. I would add 53 and 54 and divide by 2 because we have two numbers. All right, back to our problem. We found our median. And so Mrs. K always puts an arrow above that. You'll understand in a minute. That means that number's been used. That means when I go to the first quartile and the third quartile, I can't use that number. First quartile, I'm going to go back. Median means the middle of my data. If this were a football game, this would be the beginning of the game, the end of the game, and this would be halftime. When we do first quartile, we're finding the end of the first quarter. So if I want to find the first quarter, I'm just going to chop the first half of the game in half. So we're really going to find the median of the first half. That's our first quartile. So I've used this number already, so I'm going to pretend this is my first half. I'm going to put a finger here and a finger here, low and high, and I'm going to jump. And my middle number, or the end of my first quarter, is two numbers. Well, what do we do when we have two numbers? We find the mean of these two numbers. So I'm going to write down 47 plus 49. I'm going to divide by 2. Using my calculator, 47 and 49 are 96 divided by 2 equals 48. So 48 is the end of my first quarter. It would be a number right in between these two numbers. So now this is the beginning. This is called the low. This is the first quartile, which is the end of the first quarter. This is the median, which is halftime. And now we're going to find the third quartile, and I bet you've already figured this out. That's going to be halfway between or halfway in my last half of my data. So I'm going to do the same thing. Can't use this number because it's been used. So I'm going to start here and jump. And again, I got two numbers for my median. So 67 plus 61 divided by 2, because I have two numbers. I'm finding the mean of these two numbers. When I add them together, I get 138 divided by 2, and that's 69. All right, so 69 is my third quartile. Now, the interquartile range is the part of my data, it's the middle half. So this is 1/4, this is 2/4, this is 3/4, and this is 4/4. If I want to know what the middle half is, I'm going to take the first quartile number and the third quartile number, and I'm going to subtract them. So my third quartile number is 69. Take away my first quartile number, 48, and I get 21. Interquartile means the inside quartiles and their range. Just like we found the range of the whole data set here, we're going to find just the inside quartiles, which is quartile 2 and 3, and we're going to find the range of that. And so we took third quartile, take away the first quartile, equals 21. And that's our interquartile range, IQR, and we're going to do some more. Take a breather, and we'll see you soon.